So we have a couple of the newspapers in the studio, and I have to start with the Ghanaian Times. I nearly said the Daily Times.
Do we have a Daily Times in Ghana?
I was creating a new newspaper.
Let's do it.
Daily Times. The newspaper business is really shutting down. I don't know. Violence at Atebubu, and apparently NDC operatives and officials have been fighting in Atebubu. Political parties and their posture towards violence or violent tendencies. As another person claims this is his position, we also have a fugitive challenges extradition treaty, and Mama V's cousin, that is David McDermott, who also known by the Ghanaian passport name David Smith, apparently likes Ghana so much doesn't want to go to the UK, where he's being wanted for drug importation charges.
Is that what his lawyer told you?
Because he loves Ghana.
That he doesn't want to go back.
But he's fighting the fugitive challenges extradition treaty. Even not reading the story, it means that he's challenging. He doesn't want to go to UK. Ghana full time. Ghanaian truck driver stranded in Burkina Faso, and police officer interdicted over cops escape from custody. Back page, it says NHIS registered 600,000 vulnerable people. And then we have Ghanaian truckers stranded in Burkina Faso. It talks about how 95 Ghanaian articulated truck drivers are stranded at the Burkina Faso neighboring border for not possessing loading permits. And they should be stranded, I think. They have appealed to government to intervene to enable them to offload their goods in Ouagadougou, the capital city of Burkina Faso, since some of them have been in the area for about a week.
But if you need a permit, why don't they have a permit?
I don't know.
Why don't they get?
I don't know.
Or maybe somebody took the money and didn't give them the permits.
Because they didn't have a document that's in French called "A bon de changement."
Are you sure that's how they pronounce that?
The way I'm seeing it, French.
Spell it.
A bon. Actually, we can spell.
Like a bon. Where's that?
Somewhere here. Have you seen it? A bon changement.
Oh, okay.
What's the pronunciation? You don't even know. Wasting our time.
We'll put it on the screen. Maybe somebody who speaks French
wasting our time.
Charlie. Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page, NDC youth on rampage, party office at Atebubu vandalized. NP former DC at center of storm. Amazing. The people who are supposed to be the ones calming the waters involved in this kind of thing. It's a shame. I mean, if you look at the pictures on the front page of the paper, to think that people in leadership positions in the area are rather involved in this kind of thing. I hope the police would deal with whoever it is, whether it is the MP or the DCE, the way they are supposed to deal with people who go against the law and not because they are party members. ADB never paid bribe to Afanyo Markins. That's also another story on page 60. In this story, it looks like it will not go away. Also, NCA closes down Obinim's TV station, 8 others. Charlie, does it pay to be popular? Because there are other stations that were closed down. It's only Obinim that's making the headlines. He's even appearing on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Well, but that's how it goes. I mean, that's how it goes.
One of the papers. Which paper is that? They have it on the front page.
But in our news, that was our first story. Hello. Okay, yeah, well, but we mentioned the other stations.
I think I saw the Daily Guide.
Okay, so let me go to page 16 and read a bit of this story. That won't go away. See, that's the story you're also interested in. You want to review, right?
Yes. It's on the table.
Okay, so this story says the Agricultural Development Bank has denied allegations that it bribed the Member of Parliament for the Futu constituency, Mr. Alexander Afanyo Markins. According to the bank, claims that it paid 250,000 Ghana cedis in addition $900,000 to the MP to drop a lawsuit blocking the issuance of an initial public offering are false. This keeps coming back. I think ADB seem to be saying the same thing, and then we keep publishing the same old things. But this story gives you a background to this whole conversation. ADB unhappy. There's a write-up on that as well. But there are other stories in the graphic. Captain Koda denies claims of corruption. That's also another story in the paper that you can read. All right, so that's it for the graphic. Okay, no, not quite. The back page. EPA others to set up e-waste recycling facility. Roland has got a lot of information on wastes. Okay, that's it for the graphic. Roland.
Mischief.
Ah, okay.
Mischief.
So Benin TV shut down.
I don't know whether this one is mischief too. We've got Daily Guide. There's a story on
Why he posts by this?
Yeah, the statue of Jesus, and you know the Jesus statue. He was doing high five. Yeah.
Ah, so this is the Jesus that he sees.
Shower, and then he posts.
Is this the one that he sees like in his dream and things like that?
I don't know. They're the same Jesus.
I don't know. I mean,
it depends on which Jesus. Some are black. Anyway, Daily Guide. We have Obinim TV shuts down. It should be Obinim TV shuts down. Okay. Or shut down. Okay, it's been shut down. Well, the case 2016 secrets out, and we have NDC on rampage at a table.
Yeah, a table.
Talks about the MP Sanja Nanja, who apparently is having a conflict, internal party conflict with the DC Samson Owusu Boateng. A table.
And this is like a public display.
NDC,
like two people in the same party.
NDC MP.
This is DC.
What do they want us to do for them?
They
are all fighting. The MP yesterday was on air. He was nearly killed.
I don't know. Somebody. Where's the general secretary of the party? I mean, I know that when he speaks one in this matter, everybody will cool down. So he should just speak. Let those two gentlemen stop talking and deal with their internal matters and not be vandalizing properties, whether it's a party property or is a national property. Somebody has to be sanctioned for this.
True.
Okay, I've got the Chronicle newspaper front page. NDC bans in BA. Party office set ablaze. Fire officer shot. Police on the tail of DCE. Church imprisons GSTS students. That's another story. Soldiers go wild over unpaid peacekeeping cash. All right, that's story on page 2. So let's take bits of, because this one says party office set ablaze, fire officer shot, police on the tail of DCE. It looks like there's something new in here, but there's a news desk report. The alarm bells were sounded a couple of days ago about possible disturbances in the area, but the caution which came from the chiefs were ignored, and now the explosion has occurred. Several people shot and National Democratic Congress offices burned. This is the sad story of Atebo Amaten in the Bunahaf region, where there's simmering tension between the district chief executive, Samson Owusu Boateng, and the member of parliament for the area, Sanja Nangia, metamorphosed into open violence yesterday, forcing the state to deploy both police and military personnel to ensure law and order in the town. Shame on them. Church imprisons GSTS students. It says that it was a sorrowful sight when the final year students of the Ghana Senior High Technical School in Takrady was arrested at the dawn of the Easter Sunday on the orders of the priests and leadership of the Church of Christ spiritual movement on a frivolous charge of allegedly stealing 4 mobile phones belonging to some of the church members. The student, Paul Kofi Nketsia, who is preparing to write his West Africa Senior High School certificate examination on Friday, was arrested and placed in police custody for 2 days at the Takrady Central Police Station. The leadership of the church rented 5 out of the 8 dormitories in the school at a fee to host their 4-day Easter convention activities. Information available to the Chronicle indicated that members of the church first apprehended the student, hauled him to the office of the housemaster of the school, Mr. Francis Menson, and reported his conduct. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And it will tell you how the case has ended as well, if it has. That story in the Chronicle newspaper. Okay, there was another story about soldiers going wild over unpaid peacekeeping cash. And it says that government's months of silence on the unpaid allowances owed 70 soldiers of the Ghana Armed Forces who went on peacekeeping mission in South Sudan is generating grave anger among members of the contingent. March 24 this year was precisely 3 weeks when the 70 soldiers returned to Ghana from their mission, and according to some members of the contingent who spoke with the Chronicle on condition of anonymity, the government owes each of them an amount of $5,400. And here's a quote: therefore, put together, the government owes members of our contingent a total of $378,000. The issue is we do not even have any idea when they intend to settle us, one of the disgruntled soldiers said bitterly. And I mean, I don't see why soldiers will risk their lives and go on a mission like this and return to Ghana, and then you refuse to pay them their money. It comes with a picture of the Minister of Defense, Benjamin Kumbo. We'll be knocking on your doors today. We don't need answers, so we need the soldiers to be paid. You don't want the soldiers in your country to be angry. That's the last thing you want to bring upon yourself as a government. They have to be paid. Whatever it takes, you've got to pay them.
Front page of the Business and Financial. Oh.
Business fine.
Yeah. Today, dear.
It's the sausage. I told you, sausage is not healthy.
Business Finder has a story. Ghana is broke, IMF. I think we've known that for some time. I don't know whether it's a content that's going to be different.
No, but the IMF is saying it.
They've always said we're broke.
Has the IMF said categorically?
They've always said we're broke.
They said that you're not going according to, you're not
broke.
using.
They've said it several times. We're broke. Look, we can't meet that. And you're now 70 a peacekeeping accounts.
70 of them, Charlie. But do we even pay, or is the mission that pays, right? I mean, it's not like it's coming from the coffers of the country, is it? When you go on peacekeeping mission,
it's the UN, and so I think what the Ghana Army has, not the police, is that they have a peacekeeping account. So there's a percentage that goes into the account. So they give you some percentage as you, the personnel.
So it's not like we're paying.
Yeah, but I think 70 is a small number because there are hundreds of Ghanaian soldiers who go on peacekeeping missions.
They go to different places.
I know a cousin of mine, for example, who returned from Liberia. I mean, he was paid full.
So they go to different places. This is those who went to South Sudan specifically.
I think this may just have been a mix-up.
So they've been back 3 weeks. Mix up. First week, second week. We've gone for Easter and we are back.
Let me just inform you. You don't know how Ghana is broke. Let me tell you. The
soldiers don't. They don't want to know. They don't care if we're broke or not.
The International Monetary Fund.
When you've worked, you have to be paid. That's it.
The International Monetary Fund has expressed renewed concerns over Ghana's deteriorating debt situation. We've known that for some time. I don't know what is new. According to the fund, Ghana is at high risk of debt distress and faces exceptionally high gross financing needs. Hey, Brafumeni. Debt distress faces exceptionally high gross financing needs. In an exclusive email conversation with Business Finder, the fund recommended a change in the country's borrowing strategy.
Okay, that's not new too?
No, it's not new.
We've been borrowing. So we've been paying high interest.
I don't know. I think what will be news is when we crash. That will be news.
No, nobody would say it even when we've gotten there.
No, when we crash, we'll crash. You'll see. That one, they'll be home. To consider changing market conditions when assessing alternative debt. And I'm sure one of the reforms is quickly making sure the Bank of Ghana governor quickly resigns. And he's resigned at the first. Today is the last day he'll be in office.
Oh, somebody sent me a message that the governor may have well resigned, but his trail lives on or something. I'm going to pull up the message and share. You're through?
I'm true. The regular figures are here. 97 billion, debt to GDP ratio 70. I'm telling you. We know it by heart. Now it's like a rhyme. Debt to GDP ratio,
we're going to be speaking to the GES PRO, Reverend...
Bette.
Wait, hang on. I have to think about it. Bette. Yes, Bette. Reverend Bette is going to be speaking to us about this WASSCE examination and the number of people who are sitting for this exam. Most especially, what kind of security arrangements do we have ongoing? And also, the issue of examination malpractices, because we don't want our children to sit and write the exams and then afterwards they come and cancel. I mean, they are supposed to check and make sure things like this don't happen. So we're raising him on the line, and then we'll speak to him. But more messages on WhatsApp. Maunyo from Medina says, I'm very happy about the closure of the church TV channels. Close them closed down all of them. Maunyo is saying...
Is he a Buddhist or something? A theist or what?
No. Sometimes
doesn't want God's message to be preached.
Sometimes it's irritating, annoying, and you want them shut down. Like people are saying,
which church do you attend?
It's taken them such a long time.
Which church do you attend?
Does it matter? Good morning, Roland.
I want to know whether you have a channel.
You all look fantastic this morning. And please, where is Gifty? Abigail, Kemini, Yamani, Amano. I've not seen them for a long time. From Christian. What Christian? Gifty, Abigail. They've gone to school. They are studying. Kemini is no longer with the group, so that's why you don't see them on this channel. This one says you always admire. Okay, somebody's admiring us a lot. I want to ask, which of her makeup cost have you paid for? Good morning. It's Sowatepa. Roland, you always admire Mama V a lot. I want to ask, which of her makeup costs have you paid for? Please ask him again. But let's speak to Reverend Vetter now because he's on the line. Hello, good morning, Rev.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You know, we should be calling you for prayers every morning before we start the show. How about that?
I prayed for you this morning. I remembered you.
Thank you.
Reverend, please
Bless
stop your
No, it's true. It's true. He remembers me.
Your sister, say your brother too.
You can even feel the presence of God around you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Reverend, we know that some of our young students are writing an examination. Somebody sent me a message and said apparently it's been ongoing for a while now. But you've got the number of candidates who are sitting this examination. How many of them?
Well, thank you very much. We have the total number of 274,255 students, the whole country, who are writing the WASI. And we also have 667 centers all over, 667 centers. And also the school participation schools, 897 schools. And as I'm talking to you, we have 7 students from Togo, candidates from Togo, who are also writing. You know, it's WASI, so West African countries, we allow that students can come in to write.
Oh, so we have some Togolese students in Ghana who are writing this particular examination.
We have 7 of them.
Okay. So in recent times, we've been talking about security a lot. What kind of arrangement is in place to check that we don't have any incident that we do not want to allow in our country?
Well, thank you so much for the good work done by Ghana Education Service and the ministry. I will also extend my appreciation to WAEC. They have done so much with security-wise. We make sure that the questions are tight. The security is tight with the questions, where they are kept, the depots, the various depots that are kept. Security is always there. When people are taking the questions from the depots in the vehicles, the police are following, and all the centers to make sure that where there is a need for a military, the military soldiers are there. When there is a need for a police, the police is also there, and all the supervisors are well catered for security-wise.
Examination malpractices. We don't want the papers cancelled after they sit and write. So would these measures that you've just mentioned, would it curb that?
Well, in actual fact, that's what we first of all considered. We've been announcing and telling the public that this year we are really avoiding that. It will be very difficult for you to hear from any quarters that some malpractice is going on. We have educated our invigilators and supervisors against all those things. There are mechanisms put in place also to check those things this year. I can assure you that any student that will misbehave in any center or in a examination hall will be caught. We will caught the person and be arrested, and it will be an example to others. I just want to assure the public that this time WAEC has done so well. If you could speak to them, they've done so well, and GS is also alert against all examination malpractice. Before then, also, the guidance and counseling coordinators all over the district had also they've gone around all the schools to educate the children. The in-school coordinators had also done their best to prepare the children's mind towards this examination.
We will actually see how well the three of you, in terms of GES, WAEC, the Ministry of Education, how well you've done after the examinations and when the results come out. That's when we'll begin to measure the efforts that you put into this.
It's an assurance I'm giving you that we sat down well to prepare for this thing. So should it come out from any contest, that one, maybe we have to ask the angel.
Reverend Bette, we'll leave it here. We have a lot of questions on validation. We were looking for you. I think I was looking for you a lot last week. But that will be another day. We would arrange, maybe tomorrow or something, when you have a lot more information on validation, then we can have you here and we'll speak on the subjects.
Very much, sister.
All right. Thank you, Reverend, for your time. All right. That's Reverend Jonathan.
Betty.
No, it's not Betty.
Bette.
Yes, who is a GS PRO.
Bette.
And thanks to Frank in Kibi. Frank said that the WASI started some 3 weeks back with visual act practicals. And yesterday, home economics students wrote a paper. Okay. All right. We have to go to myjawline.com. Okay. All right. So the South African ex-police officers. All right, so Trump says punish women for illegal abortions, then backtracks. This is like I don't know, this whole Donald Trump, I want to be president, the comments that he makes, it's like,
he makes
you know that
so
program,
many controversial comments. Sometimes you think that is that America?
The program
but
that
America
he used to host that you
speech.
say you're fired. What's the name of the program? Oh.
Is it a reality show?
It's reality show where
Apprentice,
he says
Apprentice?
It sounds like he's on Apprentice.
He talks in what we'll call our parlance by heart. He talks by Okasa by heart. Rough. Them up a paper.
Yeah, he says he wants America to work again. So America is at a standstill for him. That's Trump and his matters. Details on myjawline.com. So Kaneshi Forex Bureau robbers remanded. The two people who allegedly robbed the Forex Bureau at Kaneshi in Accra at gunpoint have been remanded into lawful custody by an Accra Circuit Court. They should make sure that this prosecution is complete. We don't want remand, though. We want the case to be dealt with. Let them be sentenced, you know?
Sure.
NTA explains closure of Obinim TV 8 other channels. We've got the details on myjawline.com. There are other stories there as well. You can head on it and read the details. BNI invites owner of Magdan Shipping. Yesterday when we had the conversation, Roland.
With Kwachi Afreniama.
Yeah.
Who had had some communication with them.
That two of the three
they said they
had
were
been invited by Magdan. So, yeah. Oh, that to be died
Daniel
suddenly a day before wife gives birth to twins.
So sad.
Very sad story.
So sad. And Messi's boots make Egyptians cry for. And apparently the world's most famous footballer donates a pair of his boots to a charity auction. What's not to like? Plenty it seems, depending on the cultural context. And apparently many Egyptians were not happy about it.
That he donated, I don't get it.
Yeah, because that's what the story says. He donated the boots and the Egyptians just were not happy about it. And that has raised a lot more controversy than you think.
Really?
Yes, in Egypt.
Okay.
And if you read the story in detail, it gives you also an insight into how perhaps we all have cultural differences. Yes, so we all have cultural differences. And so you read a story, it tells you a lot more about how they're not happy. They think that it's a mark of disrespect to their country.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Well, I guess the culture thing.
For example, they said what Messi seems to have failed to appreciate is that in Egypt and other Arab countries in the region, shoes can be used as a symbol of disrespect or insults. So Egyptians took offense and turned to social media to express their anger. And some of them even said, this is the most disgusting. He was paid thousands of dollars and at the end he donated his shoes and the stupid presenter was happy.
Oh!
That's social media.
Charlie, when they play tennis, for instance, they give the bands and the things that they've used. Some people even want the towels,
that's
used
Europe
towels
and things like when Michael Essien came, some of the players donated their Arsenal shirts and things, and it was auctioned.
But Egyptians apparently don't like that.
Egypt's name is greater than Messi's shoes. This is a big insult to Egypt. It's a cultural thing, and I think I agree with them.
But he should have known. His PR, his agents and things like that should have known. Okay, Benedict also done quite. He's not screaming on us today. He's got his 15 minutes when we are done here on the show. But let me read this. Good morning to you, Roland. The army recruit, do they think that the army training grounds is a children's park?
They think that is
when they go and
a merry-go-round playing
it's
ground.
from Selassie Kaira. So I guess we're not empathizing with them in any way.
No. I don't empathize them. You know, I grew up in the military camp too, and it's a very tedious and sacrificial work. And it's not everybody who goes into the army. You need to be tough.
Yeah.
Because Charlie Akonoba, that's how you're tough.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for example, in your neighborhood, if you have an army officer there, thieves usually don't come to the place.
Yeah, it's true.
Whether he's poor or rich, he will come out and shoot.
It's true.
Because he has guts.
You know, like I'm moving to a new neighborhood and I hear there are 2 police officers. I was like, can I be in their middle?
Yeah. I'll press the phone, put your own phone, but so your phone.
No, I don't want to be. Oh, even though I have a cousin who's a police officer. All right, we have to make way for Benedict also Dankwa. Somebody's jealous in your suit, Roland. 2 days in a row. I have to have you on my banner. We'll talk about
quality suit aboard.
Hey, keep quiet. Benedict is up next here on the AM show. Please do stay with us. We'll come back and share a lot more of your messages.